No.
I feel like he would have been fine.
No, Sam would not. Okay, Frodo needed Sam to help him through the hard times. Sam is not surviving holding that ring. He does not have the constitution. I'm sorry.
Podcast time. Movie Propcast. We are back at it again, and we are back at it with one of the longest. It's the longest movie we've watched, I think, on this show, right? It has
I
to be.
I was thinking about that as I was watching it. It's got to be next to like nope, it's got to be.
3 hours? I think that's 100% the longest movie and the
Was it
longest name for a movie. The Lord of the Rings, The
the
Fellowship of the Ring, which I don't know why I said it like that. I could have just said it like a normal person, but really wanted to hammer home that this is a long ass movie name.
It is. Was it 3 hours without the extended cut? I thought it was 3 hours with the extended.
I think it's like 2:58. And then
You
the extended takes it over like 3:30, I think.
3:30. That is
Which, by the
insane.
way, hilarious backstory. We both didn't know if we had watched. We knew we wanted to. First off, we knew we wanted to watch Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
so we just said let's watch Lord of the Rings. We didn't specify what movie, and then we also knew that like we were going to watch Lord of the Rings. You know, at some point we started it, Fellowship of the Rings. If you go on HBO Max, there's the extended versions. I
Mhm.
just watched the shorter one. Ain't nobody got more than 3 hours to lock in and watch a movie anymore. And
Mhm.
we just sat down and I had to ask you, did you watch the extended cut? Because if you did, you're going to be carrying a lot of the weight of that. Because I did not. I don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
I
It
gotta.
is.
I'm genuinely curious. What could possibly be in it? Is it more walking? Like, are they
I've
just
seen it. You've never watched it?
the extended version? No.
Yeah. Okay, so my wife and I sat down and we watched all three the extended versions. It
Wow.
took us 2 days.
Wow.
It
That's
took
awesome.
us
That's
legitimately
actually
2
awesome,
days.
though.
Um, they just add it's a little bit more conversation here and there. And they just extend some scenes. It's good stuff, but it's more story based driven stuff.
Okay, so I will ask because this is your movie. You did choose this one, and
I did.
why did you choose this? And like, where does this rank for you, like on the pantheon of films? Like, is this up there, or is this just because this is obviously a master, like a massive movie?
I chose it because it's a massive movie. I figured it would have a decent amount of props, and it's a cult. I can't say cult classic. It is a classic. Period.
Yeah,
Like it's just my mind just wanted to say cult classic. But just we always we've been trying to do big hitters that weren't too old, and I feel like this is a sweet spot because this movie, watching it back now, is kind of timeless. Like I watched it and I was like, I can still appreciate all this without being like, oh, that CGI is terrible. It wasn't great, but it also wasn't bad. It wasn't.
what specifically kind of stood out for you, like that wasn't great? Because I mean, I watched it and like
Yeah.
I watched it knowing that it was early 2000s, like you know what I mean. And I was
Yes.
like, and it didn't really bother me. Like I didn't really see anything that I was like,
Yeah.
this is disgusting.
The only thing that like you because even the Balrog was awesome.
That
Like
was
the
sick.
Balrog,
That was
yeah,
awesome.
the Balrog was awesome. The only thing was the troll that they fought right before it was the only
Yeah.
thing that was like that and Gollum are the only thing that are like really, really CGI'd. And then but and they're what, like 3 seconds of screen, so it's not even that bad.
Yeah. So
But
I
it's
will tell you now, I have seen all these films. I have locked in and watched them. I own them. They're behind me.
mhm.
I forgot how much was in the first one of my recollection of Lord of
Yes.
the Rings. I was like,
Yes.
man, all this stuff that I remember. I just realized I probably couldn't tell you a lot of what happens in the second and third one, other than like the actual ending of the trilogy.
Yes.
I feel like I need to now lock in and figure out what the hell happened in the second one because I don't remember because I felt like all my memories came from this one.
It's kind of crazy because I was watching it and then they got to where did they get to? They got to the point to where they made the fellowship. And I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, okay, there's only like 40 minutes left of the movie." And then I like hit up on the remote just to see, and there
Yeah.
was an hour and
It
a
was like you
half.
were halfway.
I was like, What else is happening in this movie?"
Yeah.
Like it kept going and going, and not in a bad way because I was saying right before we recorded, they don't make movies like this anymore because this movie like it told story, then it hit us with action, then story, then action, then story. Like there was a nice roller coaster where I didn't always feel too bored. It was more dialogue heavy than like let's say the Avengers, which is like our generate this generation's version of what Lord of the Rings was.
Yeah.
But I really I enjoyed it. It just it you could tell that it's like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie.
Did it need to be this long?
I don't think so. I really don't. Like looking, and this might be us talking with Marvel brain rot now, because Marvel managed to make an epic and also do it in like an hour and 40. But I
I
there was
mean,
a
the Avengers movies, like the Endgame, like, you know what I mean? Those were 2 plus. Like they were
th-
like pushing
yes,
230. So like they definitely, and to be fair, 20 movies, 20 plus movies combined to
yes.
reach that point
That's what I was
earned that runtime.
yes.
Uh yeah.
With this just being like raw, I feel like there was a lot of there's a lot of time between lines where there's like silence. There's a lot of like scenic walking around without any dialogue. There's a lot of
Yeah.
exposition that they do, which might be why this movie is as good as it is. Like maybe people love this movie because of the time they take for all that stuff, and it's not rushed. It doesn't feel rushed at all.
Yeah, I think so that's definitely one of the things that I was thinking about this movie is it looking at the runtime, I think is part of the reason why it took us so long to actually lock in
Yes,
finish it. I mean, there was times I started it, stopped, I had notes, and I was like, I got to jump back in and get. I could really, it was felt like homework. Not that I didn't want to watch this movie again,
no, I know
but
exactly
to
what you
get
mean.
three straight,
Yeah.
that's almost impossible in our current situations. But
Yes.
I did like it. Like I felt like the world that you got to see it. You got to actually see the world and not just have them yap about it. Like there
Yes.
the nothing no scene from frame to frame, like whenever they move to another area looked the same, and I thought that was really awesome. There was unique structures in every location that they went to, like identifiable things, so it did feel like they
Mhm.
built an awesome world to kind of
Yes.
lead you into the next couple films. I realized at the end of this one, I know that they mentioned like the spiky rock area, but like when
Mm.
it gets to the end and Frodo and Sam are like they're
On
right
it?
there, like by Mordor. I
Yeah.
was like, I thought that was like the second movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I felt like there was a lot when I finished this. I felt like there was a lot in this movie that I forgot
I hope
wasn't
that
in the other ones. Yeah.
I hope that the detours don't, upset you then, because there's things that happen where it's like, "All right, we're on the path to A to B," and then, like, A1, A2, and A3 happens, and then they kinda get sidetracked a little bit.
Yeah, it had been a long time since I locked in and watched all 3 of these movies, and I did the same thing you did, where you guys did recently,
Mhm.
or however long ago it was when you guys watched these films. I just did it right to the face because I had not seen these movies. I didn't see them in the early 2000s. I think I watched them in, like, the mid 2010s. Like, you know what I mean? That was, like,
Mhm.
the first time I had seen these films, and I was like, "Why did it take me so long to see this movie?" Like,
Yeah.
this never really is my cup of tea, this, like,
Mhm.
mystical, like, wizard, mage, dwarf. Like, that was
Mhm.
never I've never really encountered that in any other form of media or game that I played.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. Like from a film standpoint, like it's really good. It's really well paced for how long it is. And
Mhm.
there were some scenes like, yeah, you could nitpick and be like, why are they hanging so long on these people
Uh,
looking at each other? Or like,
dude,
you know what I mean? Like there's a
the
lot of gazing.
the
Yeah,
Elijah Wood zoom-ins, like, the amount of times that we're just looking at his face and he's just smiling, glowing. There's a
yeah,
lot of lens flare in this movie.
yeah.
A lot, especially with the elves. The elves are glowing,
Bro,
except
my
for
eyes are
Legolas.
burning when they're on the screen. Like compared to what's going on, like we're
Yeah.
seeing them at night and they're like illuminating my entire
Y
TV, and I'm like, this is
yes.
actually insane to me. But they're definitely trying to build like an aura around them specifically, especially in the beginning where they're like, they're literally the most beautiful creatures in the entire planet. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they're really gassing them up for sure.
They are. I do wanna say what you were talking about before with, like, scene to scene. A lot of you could tell a lot of, like, they made practical rooms too. It wasn't just pure CGI. Like, it wasn't them just in a green screen room and everything's green screen. They did a lot of making the environment, which I was happy with too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to. I don't have a lot of gripes about this movie. I really don't. But when we get to that at the end, before we do our draft of the props,
Yes.
I have just one thing I want to say, and it might be controversial, it might be a hot take, but I do need to get it off my
I
chest
kind
for
of
this
want to
film.
hear it now.
No, I can't do it now, but I do
Okay.
want to get into the cast because this will kind of lead us into it eventually.
Sickcast.
Watching this back, I'm like, damn, there's a
Yes.
lot of like identifiable names in this movie that I didn't realize
Yes.
like there was that many all at once. Like in the first film, for like
Yes.
that's insane to me. Obviously, out the gate, Sean Astin, I just want to give a shout out. Sam might
Mhm.
be the most goated character in the entire trilogy.
Yes, and it's funny because the thing that stuck out to me was like Sam legit was ready to off himself at the end of this movie. Like
Yeah,
he just didn't care. He was like, "I'm helping my boy, or I'm dying trying. Like I'll just drown."
yeah, and obviously you mentioned Elijah Wood as Frodo. He's the main character. Well, essentially the main character. Obviously the one completing this quest. But
Yes.
to me, and from what I remember about the other films,
Mhm.
I mean, Sam's kind of the one, right? Like, he's like he
Sam
kind of
is if Sam isn't there, Frodo doesn't succeed this quest.
yeah, yeah. I honestly, I don't. Maybe this is a hot take. I feel like Sam could have just soloed this.
No.
I feel like he would have been fine.
No, Sam would not. Okay, Frodo needed Sam to help him through the hard times. Sam is not surviving holding that ring. He does not have the constitution. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Sam
He just feels
absolutely
like he
no.
should. He feels like
No,
he would. I don't know.
he's good. If he is good without the voices in his head, the minute Sam hears those voices, he is jumping off a cliff or something. Like I don't think he can handle that.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't think he can. I would love for it. Sam is like I agree with you. Sam is an MVP, but I don't think he could deal with what Frodo was dealing with in this movie because Frodo was schizophrenic. He's schizophrenic the whole franchise.
I want to say something that I saw in the notes here.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal
No.
unsuccessfully auditioned as
I,
Frodo Baggins in this film.
I'm glad because I don't think Jake can play a lot of roles, but I don't think even in this time, all of the hobbits came off very childlike. Like every time they saw Gandalf, they're like Gandalf, and it felt like my 2-year-old coming to see me. And I don't think I'm comfortable with Jake Gyllenhaal doing that. Even Bilbo, like
Yeah.
Bilbo was 111 years old, and he felt like a giant child.
Yeah.
And I
So,
just
I will give him credit, especially this is like a non-CGI thing that they did, but the camera play that they did in a
so
lot of
good,
these scenes where it
so
was
good.
like, "We're gonna make it look like
Ian
Gandalf's
McKellen's, yeah,
enormous." Yeah, it's
yeah,
like, okay, I get what they were doing, but it does look a little jarring, especially when he's, like, sitting like, Frodo's sitting next to Gandalf in the little carriage, and they're
yeah.
doing, like, this weird
Have
like,
you
it
seen the
looks
behind the scenes of it?
no, I haven't seen it.
They do a lot of stuff where like they're sitting and they'll have like they'll do play with perspective. So like
Yeah.
they'll have a large cup closer in frame and a smaller cup. Like they played with it a lot to make everything for Gandalf look bigger. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome because nowadays it's all just CGI. Like that's just yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna make you super tiny. Yeah, that's just how they're gonna wind up doing it. But okay, Ian, you mentioned Ian McKellen. Awesome, love the guy.
Yes.
Gandalf is a pretty solid character.
Mhm.
Obviously, very important in this film.
Yes.
I did see that Sean Connery was approached for the role of Gandalf. Did
I
not
think
understand the plot apparently, and he bowed out.
was this before or after League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
2001 this was released in 2001, so this had to be shot late 90s. So I got to say that's probably that
Oh,
might be
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's 2003. I was
yeah.
gonna say this might have saved Sean Connery's career because he retired after League because that just I'm pretty sure that was just his. That's it.
Don't tell
So
Kristen because she like loves that movie. Like she genuinely
honestly,
actually not
that's
as horrible as it appears.
that's one of those movies for me. I'm like objectively, this movie's like a 4, but subjectively, that movie's like a 7 or 8.
It's
Like
kind of a fun
I
ride.
also,
It's kind of
it's a
fun.
very fun ride. I like it a lot.
Uh,
But
one one other
yeah,
note on Gandalf because I do want this
yeah.
is something that ties obviously into the X-Men universe. Patrick Stewart also turned it down. Patrick Stewart was approached, turned it down, didn't like the script. Said he didn't like the script.
Honestly, though, never this. I want to say, and I could be wrong. I feel like this movie is a first of its kind in 2001.
That's like a grand fantastical
Like a
adaptation of a
like a
novel?
a grand epic, a grand
Yeah,
fantasy epic like this. I don't know any others like it. So I could see why people would be hesitant to play in this. Because now, if this script comes across, people are jumping on board. Like Dune,
yeah,
I don't think anyone is getting offered a role in Dune and they're saying no
yeah.
at all.
I'm okay. This is a fun thought I had, when I was just bored thinking about this movie.
Mm,
If this movie never happened, and this trilogy never happened, and these books, obviously lived on, and they're huge, and they cast this for today, for some reason in my head, I have no faith in the film industry.
mhm.
I think we would get like a Jumanji, like Kevin Hart, like Rock, Jack Black adaptation for some reason, and it would just like ruin the seriousness. I don't know why. Obviously, Dune avoided that, but for some reason, seeing the it just kind of reminded me of Jumanji as like this adventure
I
thing.
don't.
I don't know. I'm just be worried nowadays that if something happened, this is this is the
mm,
direction like in like a one of the directors or something would take. Would be like, let's just go crazy. Let's make
I
it
don't
fun.
think. I don't. I think it would be a little more lighthearted. I don't even know if I can't. I
There
don't have a. S- I
Yeah,
don't
that's
have a.
tough. So, yeah, obviously the hobbits are like the light, fluffy part of this movie, and like they're a big focus of it. The Shire
Yeah,
is like the Shire is beautiful, bro. I wanna
so
live in the
freaking.
Shire. Like
Did you
that's
know
awesome.
you could rent a? People have houses that are like Shire like. You could
You do an
rent one.
Airbnb in the Shire.
Yeah, no, you can
All
like
right.
look it up later. You could Airbnb a Shire
It
home.
looks awesome. Like that's I mean,
Mhm.
that's one of like a dozen places in this film that you're like looking at and you're like, damn, this is actually really sweet. Like I want to be out in this field walking around,
Yes,
which is I guess one of my gripes of this film.
the bare feet.
Oh, I don't care about the bare feet. I'm
Okay.
not worried about feet. Are you weird about feet? Is that bother you?
No, it's just the hobbits being barefoot. I know that that's part of their like genetics is that they have like strong feet
They
and
gotta
stuff
have
like
like
that.
super
But
hardened feet.
but when they're walking in the mud, like just barefoot,
Kind of
I'm
gross,
like,
right?
yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, somebody
What
has
were
to
you gonna say?
design a shoe for him. But no, like I said, there's a lot of freaking walking in this movie.
Yes.
And I mean, we're in it. Let's just talk about it. We talked about Gandalf. It seems like there's a lot of walking. Is there no other way to obviously there's a horse, but you have a wizard. What is this
Who
wizard doing, man? Like, I gotta say, this is like, and this is maybe this is a hot take. Is Gandalf like the worst wizard ever depicted in
it
movie history?
it is one he calls a griffin later on that there's a lot of people who are like, why didn't they just take the griffin to Mordor? But that aside, the power scaling, let's just use that for Gandalf, is weird because he is not the top wizard in his clan, group,
Covenant? I
coven,
don't know what do they
because
call it.
that's
Yeah, I don't know.
that in his class, because that would be Saruman
Yeah.
or yeah, Saruman. But when he gets his spoiler alert, when he gets his power up and he becomes the white, that is him ascending to the next level and getting that. So right now, because there's other wizards, there's I don't know if you remember, there's like an earth wizard, and Gandalf is I forgot what Gandalf is, but he's
I
the
don't remember
gray.
that. Yeah.
There's a green. There's a few. There's a bunch of other wizards. I'd say Gandalf is like high middle for the
Okay.
wizards,
Okay.
but he knows a lot. Like he's the map. He
Yeah.
literally they're walking around. I'm like, how does he know where he's going? Like he
Yeah.
just knows.
I mean, he's what? He's got to be like a billion years old, right? Like, look at
Yes,
no.
but even though being a billion years old, you could if I'm a billion years old, I'm still gonna get lost. This man's like, oh, gotta go through the mountains. It's just a snow covered mountain. How do you know what direction you're going?
That's bold as hell, by the way. They were like, let's just take these barefoot hobbits up through like 4 foot deep snow.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, back to my point. I don't want to get
No, yeah,
distracted
yeah.
here. In this film standalone, I've never read the books. I'm not sure if you have. Did you ever read all the? It seems like a lot of reading.
Parts,
Yeah, it's
parts.
a lot of reading for me. I can't. You know me.
I need to audiobook it to be honest.
Um,
It's but
yeah, there's probably a lot more dialogue, a lot more stuff to like
so much.
backstory. Like I would and maybe I haven't seen the Hobbits either. The Hobbits films, I haven't
Oh,
seen
really?
those. I want to.
Mhm.
I'm gonna finish the rewatch of this now because I'm invested in it, and I'll go back and I'll watch the Hobbits and kind of piece it all together. Is
Mhm.
there more on of Gandalf in the Hobbit films or
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Because I to me, I'm like, I want to see.
Do you know what the Hobbit films are about?
It's the prequel, right? Is it about Bilbo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just picture, because Gandalf alludes to Bilbo's adventures. He's like,
Right.
"I wanna go back on the mountains," and things like that, and later on, Bilbo writes a book. So
Yeah.
they met somehow is all I will
Yeah.
say.
Okay. So that's fine. So getting a little more backstory on it would be awesome. But in this film, standalone coming in, like if this was 2001 and I was a sentient non 11-year-old child,
Mhm.
and I just watched this film, I'd be like, Gandalf got to be one of the lamest wizards of all time.
He looks
He
weak
what did he do?
until
What
the
did he do?
Balrog fight.
He lit some fireworks off in the beginning. Cool. And he had a flashlight on a stick. And he had got to be one of the weirdest stick fights, old man
That was
stick
crazy.
fights I've
Yes.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Whoever choreographed that
Have you seen the
disgusting
memes
work.
of it?
No, no, what?
The memes of, like, Gandalf breakdancing on the
No, but yeah,
floor?
that's him spinning where they're like clearly just got it by the foot, and we're like, let's just kind of turn the ceiling fan on and see what happens.
Yeah.
The choreography for that was egregious, disgusting.
He
It didn't make him
he
look good at all.
he comes off weak, and he gets his get back in the second movie.
Right, for sure.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
still, there's got to be some sort of thing he could do eh, to traverse. Like obviously, like you said, like they could call the friggin' massive bird. But just I don't know. It just felt weird to me that there was a lot going on, and he was just aside from the sacrifice, which was cool.
Mhm.
But I mean, again, at the end of the day, he just broke a bridge. Like I don't know.
I
It just seemed like he could have done a little bit more to make things easier.
I think you have too much of modern magic in your mind, where back then it wasn't like, "I'm gonna disintegrate you with my magic" type of stuff. That wasn't what these wizards are like.
Still, we're talking
Because
like
even when Saruman was doing stuff, he wasn't like blowing people up. He was just like, it was more like mind stuff and like heavy telekinetic type stuff.
yeah, it was just like pushing. Like they were just having a
Yeah,
push fight, which was
yeah.
like I don't know. That it was weird to me. I just felt like somebody of that age who has clearly seen a lot and done a lot. I just felt like you could have been a little more spicy with your
It's
wizardry,
just,
you
it's
know?
not where their magic is at. That's
All
not
right.
what they do.
All right. That's fine. Just saying. You know, I love Ian McKellen. Gandalf
And
obviously is a goat for, sacking himself. He didn't really try to sack himself. Uh
no.
he just broke the bridge. It was a genius thing. And that scene
Hmm.
which I think it's really awesome that like they got when I first saw it, I was like, oh damn, like everybody knows, you shall not pass. Like that is like iconic movie
Hmm.
quote of all time. But when he does that and he turns around and he's like about to walk away, and that freaking fire
Whip.
whip comes back and gets him one more time, and he's still hanging on.
Hmm.
Why no one go and help him? They're right there.
What are they really gonna? What are
What do
they
you
gonna
mean?
do?
He was
The
hanging
whip was
right
around
there.
his ankle. Yeah, he's still gonna go down. He's got a giant Balrog
I
holding
don't
on
think it
to
was
him.
around his ankle. If you go back
I
and
think
watch
it
it, it
was.
whipped him and he slipped and there's no way he would have held for that long with it still around his ankle. Like I
Oh,
think he was just
maybe.
dangling there. Like we got like a down perspective. Somebody could have ran out and grabbed him. That's all I'm saying. If I don't know. We'll go back and check it. Maybe I'm
Okay.
wrong, but I'm pretty sure that scene where like I think it was Aragon was holding
Yeah,
Frodo.
Frodo back. Yeah.
He was like Frodo was about to go like I'm gonna get my guy, bro. Like I'm not gonna let him go.
I think that was after he fell. Like that was when it was way too late.
I don't know. Check the sequencing again, but it felt
Yeah.
like you saw him dangling, like holding on, and then
Yeah.
it cuts to Frodo, like making an attempt, and Aragon holding him,
Hmm.
and then he slips. And I'm like, just let him. Somebody could have, I don't know. Somebody could have tried to grab him. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, but then they lose out on the power up if they do that.
Nobody knows what's happening. They saw a man
I'm just
die.
I'm just I'm just I'm just saying. I'm just
They
saying.
saw a man die. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. Obviously, we're going to get into the draft of the props. Like you said, there's a lot of good practical props in this film.
Yeah.
Um, when we get to that, do you have an? Oh, we'll talk about a number in mind. Like I think we could safely do 3 easy.
Yeah,
Maybe
easy.
four, but we'll get
Hmm.
into that in a second. Do you have any like thoughts from this film that like really stood out from you before we get into the draft?
Did you look up the trivia on Legolas by any chance?
I did not.
Do you know how many lines Legolas has in this movie?
Probably like 3.
He is like, well, I'm seeing conflicting things. I saw one thing that said 17 in the entire franchise, and
Really?
then I saw another thing that said 17 in this one movie. But it's just crazy that Legolas has next to no lines, and everyone feels like he's just like this big on-screen thing. Like apparently he just steals the screen.
He's a beautiful man. It's Orlando
He
Bloom.
is,
Like, but it's just
yeah,
like early Orlando Bloom though. So we're
yes,
talking like all these everyone else who's in this film is dominating him from like just like a hierarchy perspective. And his
yes,
character isn't
is awesome.
exactly like
I love you. What, you don't think
no, no,
Legolas
no,
was
no.
awesome?
I'm not saying he's not awesome, but I'm saying he didn't exactly like you said, he didn't get the screen time. He didn't get a lot of
No, he
talking. So he's
didn't.
not
He
he's not
didn't.
positioned as like this
No, no,
force,
he's
you
not.
know?
But it feels like leaving the movie. At least I felt like this, and a few other people on the internet. They're like, I didn't realize he had so few lines because it just felt like he just felt bigger than what they portrayed him as. Like he did
It's
well
that
with his
elf
screen
stuff, bro.
time.
The elf aura was giving you those vibes. You're like, what is going on here? He's like commanding the screen. He's
He's
with his
running on
beauty.
snow.
Yeah. I don't yeah, okay. Anytime you get some badass archery though, it is sick. Like it is sick.
He,
When he's just like
this
picking
man
people,
was
head
just
shooting
standing.
people.
Yes.
Oh, sick. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So yeah,
Uh,
I give him some credit. Early Orlando Bloom, he cooked. But yeah, he didn't really like dominate the screen with his they didn't really
mhm.
give him much. He probably I don't know if the extended cut maybe gives him more. Maybe there's a
I
little
don't
more
think so.
Orlando
I
Bloom.
really don't. I don't
No?
think
Okay,
so.
that's fair.
It's always funny in these kind of movies for me where like these people who don't know each other spend like a month traveling and then they're like we're family. Like at the end when Boromir dies, you would think that like their best friend died.
Yeah.
It's they like they form bonds quickly. And it's in books too. Like I guess it's just the trope of like you spend time traveling with someone and then you're just your fam that's it, your family.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sean Bean, excellent dyer, bro.
Great,
Great death.
great, great
So good
deaths
at
in
dying.
all the history of movies and
Yeah, oh, yeah,
TV.
he dies in a lot of stuff for sure,
In
but
almost I think like 80% of his
he,
roles he
like, signs
dies.
on specifically because he's so good at dying. They're like, "We gotta get him in here to die."
I watched something where he didn't die and I was shocked.
What? Wait.
I I've watched something where his character didn't die and I was
You're like,
absolutely
"Wait, wait, wait,
shocked.
wait, wait. Rewind this. Somewhere
Yeah.
he's gotta
Yeah.
die." He's like, "I can't. There's
Yeah.
gotta be a death here."
I'm telling you, it's a majority of his roles.
Oh,
It's
I have no
crazy.
doubt. He definitely like everyone I can think of for sure. Like there's just like he goes out in a blaze of glory. But this one was beautiful to me because like there was like he stood off. Like he was pretty abrasive with everybody. He kind of had his own
Mhm.
agenda for his own people, which is fine. Like I get that. But the man took 3 massive arrows to the chest.
They
These
made
things
him
were
go out like a
huge.
beat. He
They were
went out
like
like an
baseball bat
animal.
size arrows. Like
Like if I'm an actor and I have to die in a movie, I want to go out like he went out because he takes one, keeps fighting, takes two, keeps fighting, takes I
he did
takes
take it.
two, goes
Yeah.
down, and then you're like, oh, it's over, and then keeps fighting. I
My
was like, oh
God,
my
bro.
god,
They did
I've
like
seen this movie before, and I was like, that is so
it didn't
sick.
it did feel weird, like, it was kinda jarring because, like, the shots of him getting hit, you're like, "He's gone."
Yes,
And then there's, like, a random cut, and he's slinging a blade again, and you're like, "Wait, wait, wait. How is he doing this? This is crazy." That scene
yeah,
was wild. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I wanna obviously he went out like that, but I thought it was interesting that he did kind of give, who am I thinking of?
Frodo,
No. Is it
Pippin, and
Aragon?
Mary.
Aragorn?
Yeah,
I'm saying Aragon, like, I feel like Aragon.
Aragorn,
It's Aragorn.
Aragorn.
He gave him his blessing at the end there, which is kinda that was
Hmm.
obviously beautiful. But like you
Yep.
said, they after that, they did just go like, "We're gonna buddy up and let's just go, like, take down some friggin' orcs. Let's just go crazy and go orc." But which, by the way,
Yeah.
that was another thing that kinda stood out to me.
Hmm.
The scene of what is it? I'm gonna butcher his name. Sauron? Not Sauron.
Which one? Sauron
Saruman.
or Saruman?
Why would they do
Saruman.
that? What are we doing here? Who come on.
Yeah.
Saruman?
Saruman? It's
Saruman.
like Sarumon, I believe. Saruman.
Yes. The yeah. Him. Why I don't know
Mhm.
why I didn't practice saying his name coming into this, but even if I did, I still would have butchered it. He's creating what I thought was like an entire squad of super orcs.
Yep.
Was that the squad, or like was just the one that he put in the lead the only super orc? Because all the other ones just got just wasted. Like they were
I
like
think only
buddies
the
from
one in the
Power Rangers.
lead. I think only the one in the league was the super orc, because he was like, yeah, this came from an elf or whatever. But I don't think all of the orcs. Uh, I don't think all of the orcs came from elves, and unless I'm wrong, maybe they all
Okay,
did,
because it
which is
looked like they were
crazy.
they were churning them out like a
Mhm.
mill for a bit whenever they were in like that area, just churning. Like it looked like they were building an army of these people. And after he mentioned he perfected it or got to that one leader,
Yeah.
but when they showed up, they were just getting wasted by hobbits. I'm like, what is going on? And then they gave like the leader
Mhm.
a pretty decent little fight, but even then, for that
I
one
didn't
to
think he
just
was
get
gonna die right away.
right,
Yeah.
neither did I. Even he got waxed in the first
Yeah.
film. Like he could have
Yeah.
hung a little bit, like I don't know, like he could have been like a general of the army. Like I thought that was like an interesting character, and
He
they
could
just
have been like someone Aragorn wants to like come back and like specifically hunt down for killing
yeah,
Boromir.
would have been awesome. Would have been
Yeah.
awesome. That kind of shocked me where I was like watching them. It was intimidating to me. Them running through the forest like a bunch of savages, like nonstop. You're like, oh my
Mhm.
god, these super orcs. If they get them, bro, they're cooked. And then they just turn out to just be like regular henchmen. Like you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it was just not like they were just offing him. Like there was nothing, no
Yeah,
real issue there. But aside from that, pretty decent little film. You guys
it
should check it
was.
out. Yeah, no
It
worries.
yeah, if you're, what is it, 24 years later, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
Yeah, you might be missing it. Yeah, hopefully we didn't spoil anything for you. But if you're ready to get in the draft, I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah, the super orc thing was something that kind of like the fact that they were still buns after churning out all those super orcs kind of let me down a little bit. It could have been a more epic fight. Like this, the fear of them
I
overrode it.
still feel like it was epic. They just needed to clarify more if they were all super orcs or if that one was a super orc.
Yeah.
That would have helped. But
Uh,
the fight was great. I
the
liked it.
last thing I want to say is obviously you have Sam, obviously you have Frodo. The other two hobbits,
Pippin specifically was frustrating me
bro, they were
because
just with the team. Yeah, continue. Sorry,
no,
continue.
it's fine. It's just Pippin. Did you have that friend in high school who would sit next to you and talk, and the teacher would say stop talking, and then they would keep whispering, and then you'd get in trouble because they couldn't shut the hell up? That was Pippin, and I was getting aggravated because Mary was okay. Mary was fine. Pippin specifically was just giving me flashbacks of that one kid who I wanted to punch in the face because I was getting in trouble because he couldn't shut his mouth. Sorry,
Yes. No,
that
that's a
was
perfect analogy. I was gonna say like those two specifically Pippin were just in this film to stir shit up. Like they were just like we need somebody to trigger all these. Like if those two weren't there, they're just walking. You know what I mean? And they're just
yeah,
walking and
they're
they're going
probably
through journey.
immortal already.
Huh?
I think
Yeah,
they're
they're
immortal
already
already.
there. The whole group's there. No one dies. Like it's like it's insane to me how much stuff that like one time, sure, like I get it, but
Every
just every
single
scene where they're like,
time.
we need some drama, throw Pippin in there, little Pippy, get in there and do something stupid. Like I was like,
The
God,
thing, and it frustrates me because they do redeem it because Pippin's like a major part of 2 and 3 and why things succeed in 2 and 3. Everyone really is a
yeah,
major part of why, but Pippin specifically like is a major part of 2 and 3, and
insufferable in the
he
first one. Just
very I was, yes, that's
yeah.
all I had to say.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the draft. I'm gonna hit this little horn, everyone's favorite noise in their
Oh,
ear.
I forgot about that.
What? What'd you say?
I forgot about
Forgot about the horn? I almost
that.
did too, and I had to stop it right there because I wanted to hear the words you were saying. And yeah, the horn's back.
Was that
Wow, what a
longer
beautiful
than
sound.
normal?
What?
That felt longer than normal.
It
It
did
felt
feel
like it
like it was hanging a
lingered.
little bit for
It,
sure.
it lingered a little bit at the
Yeah,
end.
I don't know what that
Okay.
was, but I can tell you it is draft time, and we're gonna get into
Yes.
this right now. Okay, so we're obviously gonna finish this draft. We're gonna get in here. I know we talked about it a minute ago, but do you want to do three? I think we can do three pretty safely each.
We could
Do
do
you want to push it
three.
to four? We don't have to push it to four.
I'm
Like,
fine pushing it to 4.
It's your call. Your movie, your call. Whatever you want to
Let's
do.
go 4. Let's
You're
go 4.
psycho. You're disgusting.
I am.
Okay, so if anyone is watching this or listening to this and has no idea what we're talking about here, we're now officially drafting the most iconic movie props from the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. So, all right, you're obviously going to have first pick in this draft. We're going to go through back and forth and make some picks here and try to figure out what we can
Yep.
cook up here. So, whenever you're ready.
A note I forgot to mention, all of the clothes in this movie look really comfy. The design team, go back, the everything the hobbits wore, I was like, I would actually like Elijah Wood's little overalls with his cloth pants and his button up. Everything looked so freaking comfortable. At one
Interesting.
point,
Yeah.
Legolas had an elven like a full, not gown, but it looked like a pajama set or like a
Yeah.
lounge
Oh, no
set.
doubt. Yeah. It looked
It
warm. It
looks
looked cozy. It
so
looked comfy.
comfortable. Yeah. Number one, I mean, I want to pretend like it's gonna be a surprise, but I'm taking the One Ring. I gotta
Yeah. I mean,
take.
obviously, that's no doubt. You have to
I
do that.
gotta. I gotta. I gotta take the. I almost didn't just so I could see your reaction, but it's not like it's gonna make you confused. You're just gonna
You know what
take
I
the
would
One
do,
Ring.
right? I would just pick the ring. Yeah, this
Exactly.
is obviously one of those movies where it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. Like the
Yeah.
101 was never really going to be in question at all.
Yes.
It's the second one where
Yep.
we really got to think about it. And I
102.
102, yeah, first round, second pick. I did not order these. I should have, and this is like on me. And I'm a little out of practice. There's so many cool things we could get here.
There's a lot. That's why I said go to 4 because there's a lot of good stuff in this movie.
I
And he did say early on, he did say the most iconic, but there is some subjectivity to this because there's things I know for a fact I like that might not be.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna pick
Yeah,
we obviously pick based on what we are feeling,
there's a balance. Yeah.
but early on, you really just gotta get the bangers, like, you have no
Yes,
choice. You really gotta get the
yes,
bangers. So, you pick the ring. I think I wanna say I can come back and get this other.
you probably can. My number 2 is already set in stone, and I don't think it's the same as your number 2.
I'm taking Gandalf's staff.
Take it.
Why you
That's
gotta
good.
say it like that? See, when you just let it go when you let it go like that, I feel like I've screwed up, like,
You
I've
did
done
not.
something
You did
wrong.
not. You did not. I have to keep a poker face.
Okay. All right.
I have to
All
keep
right.
a
So,
poker
all right,
face.
you get the ring,
Mm,
obviously.
yeah.
Gandalf's awesome. I know I just spent probably 20 minutes crapping on him in this film.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know what his progression is like, but
Mm,
and Ian McKellen's awesome. So like the character's great, iconic character. The stick, it's not very exciting stick. I will say the
mhm.
other guy's stick, pretty cooler, pretty cooler. I'm talking about men's stick, and I'm like I can't form a sentence anymore.
Saruman's staff. Yes.
Staff. Staff. These are staffs.
Saruman's staffs.
They're not
No,
sticks.
his
Though
staff
even
is.
though Gandalf is quite literally a piece of wood. So
Mhm.
you just broke it off a tree. So
Kind of,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm taking Gandalf's staff
Mhm.
and it's on you now.
I don't know where your mind is at because
Does
there's
anybody?
2 things. True. Um, because I don't wanna reach for one, like, there's one I don't think you're picking, but if you do pick it, I'm gonna be
I'm
upset.
picking it next.
I'm just gonna take it because it's probably not even on your list, but I'm gonna take Isildur's sword, Narsil, the broken sword, if those names didn't make any sense to
Yes.
you.
Now I wrote it down.
You did?
Shards of Narsil. That's what
So,
I wrote that, but I
yes.
wrote it. You want it in its
I
entirety
want
or do
it
you
no,
want
I
it
want it
broken?
broken. I want it broken
Okay. All right. That's
because
perfect.
that's
Dude,
sick.
I'm a little bummed out. That was I didn't order them, but I
Mm,
starred a few of them. That one was a
mhm.
star for me, bro. I was like,
Narsil
I
is
was going there.
sick.
I was
I
going there
love
for
I
sure.
love that sword.
So I guess in the same vein, then I might as well just
Damn it.
take the other end of this. But it's not a sword. I'm taking Sauron's helmet.
I have that. So, yep.
I want his
Sauron's
helmet. It's
helmet.
a
Yep.
it's a badass looking helmet. I know you only get
It.
the beginning of the film. You get like the backstory, like they're reading the
Mhm.
story, and you get like his clip, and his helmet drops on the ground. It's an
Be-
intimidating looking helmet. That's a
It
spooky little helmet.
is. I kind of because I was torn between this because of who Sauron is. I kind of want to give you everything, like his helmet and the mace,
I didn't. I was ready to
because
break it up. I'm prepared to break it up, but
I am too. But he's different. Like if we're talking like Gandalf and all of them, the outfits feel separate from the weapons.
Yeah.
For me, for some reason, Sauron, all of it goes
If
together.
you want to be generous, I mean, I would take it. That's also on my
I'm
list.
gonna get, I'm gonna give it to you. I want you to have the whole thing.
So
I want you to,
Sauron's garb.
yes,
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you.
yeah.
You're a nice guy.
Helmet, mace, the gauntlets, the gloves, like all of that
Scary
feels like
looking
it
dude,
goes.
bro.
It feels like it all goes together. Like you can't break that up.
Yeah, and yeah. No, I appreciate that. That means a lot. I didn't. You didn't have to do that. You're a nice guy. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're not. Thanks. Go ahead
You're
now.
welcome.
Now, again, that's another one that might have been on your list, but it doesn't. You feel unbothered.
Bro, I'm telling you, this movie went deep. Like this
Okay.
movie really went deep. That I feel like I could give some stuff away. I still have
Okay.
like 5 picks.
Well, we only got
Um,
two more, so you better make them count, right? These got to be like
I
legit
am.
bangers, or
I'm
just
gonna.
things that tickle you in some way.
I'm gonna go with Arwen's necklace that she gives to. She gives to Aragorn. That little elf
Wow.
necklace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I did not write that down, but I remember that scene. I
It
remember that one.
it's I know I wish I had not reached for it. I didn't know if you were gonna pay attention to it or not.
I
So
so
I
every
wish I
little
didn't
thing that
reach
like
it.
was passed between this movie did a really good job of like I'm picturing it as like an RPG game where like you
Mhm.
chat with somebody and they're like, "Here's the eyeballs of
Yeah.
Plonkerton," and you're like, "Oh, okay, sure. Like, thanks.
Mhm.
These are going to come in handy at some point." There's a lot
Mhm.
of passing of things in this movie, and they
Yeah.
almost always came with a name. And
Yeah.
because that one didn't have a name
Mhm.
when it was passed, I didn't write it down. I didn't even think to write it
Damn
down.
it. I wish I could have I wanted it no matter what, especially because I know it comes back in the later movies. It's actually an important item. We just don't get the lore of it right now.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but
Do they
I
say
could
a
have
name
waited.
later in the film of like what it's called, or they just say, "Oh, you got the necklace"? Like, I
Let
don't
me
know,
actually.
because I don't remember what it was called, and that's part of the reason, like I said, why I didn't write it
The
down.
Even Star, the Evan Star, the Even Star,
Sick. That
which
sounds
means
sick.
the evening star. The name is derived from her name, which means the evening star.
If she'd have said that, or somebody would have said, "No, don't," you gave me the even star or whatever, I'd have been like, "Damn, that's a sick name. I'll write it down." But yeah,
Mhm.
just because there was no, and maybe we'll talk about some of those after we finish this draft.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to pick some things, but I wrote down a lot of the names. Uh, like the shards of Narsil was like, it looked like just a broken sword, but because they said the shards of Narsil, I'm like, oh damn,
that's why you want it.
that's
Damn it!
important.
I
Like, you know
should
what I
have
mean? They
waited. I
named
should
it.
have waited.
No, you're good.
Okay.
So yeah, necklace. I'll just write necklace, and we'll decipher that because it
Arwen's necklace, sir.
didn't have a cool name. Um, other than
It's
just her
it's the
necklace.
Even Star, the Evan
Sure, I
Star.
know, but we don't know that in this film, so I can't
I
say that.
think they said it. I just think we weren't paying attention to.
I might have been. Maybe. That's entirely possible. Third pick for me, I have the staff, I have helmet. I don't oh, I have I mean, I said helmet, but you gave me the whole thing, so I guess technically I do have a weapon, so
You
maybe I don't
do.
have to go, like, in on a
You
weapon
you don't
again.
have to. You don't have to.
I think there's, like, 2 for me.
Okay.
One's just a circle, like a sphere, and I think I want it just because it looks cool. I'm gonna
Okay.
take this seeing they called it a seeing stone.
Yeah.
Was it Saruman's, seeing stone that, like, what
I
had they had it
forgot.
covered up? Remember the beginning before the stick fight with the 2 old men?
Yeah.
They called it, like, one of the seeing stones. So, like, Gandalf
Uh
covered it back up because he's like, "You don't know who could be seeing through those." I think it had a grander name.
Palantiri.
Maybe. I think it had a
No,
better name.
I'm telling you, Palantiri.
Oh, that's what it's called.
It's one of 7 seeing stones.
I don't like the name of that seeing stone, so I'm just gonna call it a seeing stone.
Okay.
But
You
yeah,
don't
I
like
want that. I think
Palantiri?
it's a really cool looking, like, galaxy globe looking thing, and, it
Mhm.
did a lot of cool stuff, even though it was owned by a scumbag. Um,
Yes, it was.
but it's cool. To me, it looked pretty cool. I think it would look
Mhm.
good on a shelf and be like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, that's the little circle." Probably something easy to buy, like, replicated. Like, you can get a replica of
Yes.
that pretty easily for sure.
Yeah.
If anybody cared to make it, it's probably not hard to make. It's like a marble ball. Um, which now that I'm saying that out loud, it sounds a little lamer. But
I
anyways,
mean,
it's your last pick now. Go ahead.
you've got I'm torn. There's 3 things that I could get right now. Um
What does your gut say? What is the Eye of Sauron telling you to
My gut
choose?
says to go with Sting.
Sting. I wrote that down. What was that?
The Sting was
Oh, gold. Yeah,
the
Frodo's
blue
sword,
blade.
the
Yes,
Baggins sword. No, that
the
is
Baggins
legit.
sword
That's legit.
turns blue when orcs are
Damn,
around. I'm gonna go with Sting.
that's a
I'm
banger. And
surprised you
also,
let
why
that
weren't they
drop.
using that
I don't.
more? Like
Just
the
leave it out. Don't even sheath it.
or
Just
you could
leave
put
it
it
out.
like put a that the freaking holster should have like
Mhm.
an open line in it so you could see it illuminate.
That's a great idea.
Open
Except if you're
line.
trying to hide, then you're screwed.
Okay, well, fair.
Yeah.
The option, like a
But that's a
zipper.
great yeah, that's a great but honestly though, that's a great idea. Like you're just walking and it lights up.
You're like,
That's a
okay,
good
I'm
idea.
alarmed. You shouldn't have to pull it out and check every 2 seconds. That's insane to me.
Mhm.
And they only ever checked it when they already were suspicious. So it's like, wait, what the hell are we
Yes.
doing here?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's an awesome pick, and I honestly forgot it
I
in
was
my list
surprised you let
of
it
stuff.
drop. When you let it drop, I think I got all 4 of
I
my
starred it
guys.
too. That's one of the stars, and actually that was the last one starred, and I picked the Seeing Stone over it because I'm a clown. Um, that's a foolish thing to do for sure. I definitely screwed that up. Um, we're gonna talk about obviously the ones that get left off.
Yes.
I'm gonna I'm going with an article of clothing,
I almost did too.
but
So,
I don't want to double up on Gandalf. Like I love his hat. Like I really want the hat,
yeah.
but I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it because it looks beautiful. All
Mhm.
right, and it's very shiny and it has saved a man's life.
Yep, I almost
Give me
went with it. That was
mithril.
mithril,
The
the
meat.
mithril
Bro,
armor.
what is that made of, bro? The guy took a
Mithril.
freaking.
It's made of mithril.
What does that mean?
It's above diamonds. So, like, you've never played the PlayStation games, right?
I have not, but I heard they were like legit good though.
They were I have them, we could play it sometime. So you know how in, like, in RPGs, it's like there's a progression, like, you start with stone weapon, or you start with wood, then
Yeah,
stone, then steel. So, like, in the Lord of the Ring games, you start with, like, iron swords, steel swords, and then the very last one is mithril. Like, mithril is elven metal
yeah.
that is just, like, unbreakable.
Why isn't everyone wearing it? It's got to be like a
Because
super rare. Yeah,
it's rare and elves are stingy.
stupid. Everyone should have this.
No, I mean that's like us giving everyone nukes or something. Or that's like that's no, I'm sorry. That
Yeah.
was
No.
I
Okay.
didn't
I mean,
mean to
that's
go there.
a yeah.
That's like Wakanda giving everybody vibranium.
Okay, that's fair. That makes a little more sense. Okay, so it is
Yes.
like a rare material for sure. The
Yes.
fact that it was just chilling in Bilbo Baggins' possession, though, like this guy's. I gotta
Yeah.
watch those Hobbit movies because
I was gonna say he's been around.
he's the most goated Hobbit there ever was, apparently.
He is. The man is like that old dude who sits around telling stories of his past, and you're like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But then it actually did happen. Like, there's a reason he knows Gandalf.
Yes.
That's
Which actually kind of another thing that this isn't necessarily a gripe, but just kind of like a writer's thing. They made it sound like, and I think it did. There's like been 2,500 years plus like an
mhm,
additional 60 right on
mhm,
top of that, and they make it sound like these stories turned into myths and then fables and like eventually just disappeared.
mhm.
Frodo seemed to be pretty hip to the jive as soon as Gandalf brought it up. He was like, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I know about this." So like, which is it? Or maybe
Well,
he just heard
no,
these stories. I don't know.
Bilbo sure told him all of this.
I guess, yeah.
Like
There was, yeah,
one of the cool things is like, do you remember early on Bilbo's telling like the three kids stories, and he's like, yeah, and the trolls surrounded us, and then the sun came up and turned to stone, and then like 30 minutes later they're walking through an area and there's three stone
mm,
trolls around, like
okay,
that sort
okay,
of deal.
yeah,
And in the first Hobbits movie, you actually see that interaction too.
okay, all right,
So
yeah.
it's yeah, so
I'm
that kind
intrigued.
of stuff.
Yeah. All right. All right. That just I did say that for some reason. It did just kind of feel weird
Mhm.
that he was like ready for that. And I guess it would make sense that he heard these stories, but it also sounded like Bilbo was like keeping things kind of tight. So I don't know.
Some.
Yeah. I'm sure he didn't say everything. Also, terrifying jump scare. Bilbo
Oh
Baggins.
yes.
Insane. I totally forgot
Yes.
about that when it happened. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, That was
Yes.
so out of nowhere. His face just warps, and you're like, "Oh God, you
That's what happens when you live with the ring for what was it, like 60 years or
60
something?
years." Yeah.
I don't know how the last movie ends because I don't know why Bilbo didn't just go throw the ring in the mountain. I don't know what was going on. Like, why was he just living with this thing?
I don't know. Well, I
I
mean, yeah, he's kind of
pe-
addicted to it, right? Isn't he
People
like,
might get on me about it. I don't know. He wasn't wearing
oh,
it
you're talking about The
because
Last Hobbit? Because I gotta, I don't know what that could
yeah,
possibly end
I
on.
don't know what happened because if he's been living it with this long, he's obviously not wearing it because the Eye of Sauron would have found him. Like the
He's just
minute you wear
touching it,
it,
like you rub
yeah,
it and you don't age?
I I guess,
Alright. Hey, listen, I'm
because
not here to describe those. I will say, like, for it being this coveted thing, like, it doesn't sound like it's giving you much ability. Like, you go, like, invisible for a second, like, what are you
you
really
go
gaining?
invisible. Well, I think it gave more to Sauron than it gives everyone else, but it's the allure that it would give you power. Because I don't know if it actually give other than invisibility and pretty much almost immortality. I don't know if it does anything else.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm like, they're freaking out about this thing. I'm like, "What?" Like, Harry Potter's got an invisibility cloak and no one bats an eye, you know?
Yes. I don't know if we can. I just typed in the One Ring into Google and it said, "Did you mean my precious?" with
No,
like
for
four
real?
S's.
That's
Just
hilarious.
go type it in real quick.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, I
Fun.
just want to see like if it has more power. Um, it's supposed to be the most
No.
powerful of all the rings, able to rule and control those who wore the others.
So that's it. I
Oh,
mean, they're just gonna control, like, the demigorgons that were, which that's not what they're called, but yeah, the people who were chasing them. Sure. I mean, that's cool. Yeah. I don't wanna downplay the entire point of the story. So, yeah, I just was curious, like, it seemed like it could have been doing a little more. And maybe I'm forgetting something that happens in the next 2 because I do need to
hmm
brush up on them because it has been a decade plus since I've sat through these, and I've never seen the 2nd and 3rd one more than once. Like, I've watched them
really?
once. This
Okay.
one, I've seen probably 3 or 4 times because I do this where I'm like,
I need to start
I'm going
over.
back
Yeah.
in, baby. Imma lock in, and I watch the 1st one, and I never go back to the 2nd one. I hate when that happens, but
Yeah. Yeah.
especially when the movies are 3 hours long, it's gonna happen a lot. So, I gotta stop watching, and it's just something that happens, like, with the Harry Potter series. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
if I start, I don't think there's any time I've started the first one and didn't make it at least 4 movies in.
damn, that's
Like
pretty impressive. But
but
that
I'm
happens with me a lot.
that's
Like,
yeah, that's just I'm a Harry Potter guy though, so that's
yeah,
just
that's fair. Anyway, that great film. I mean, I
Oh,
think it's awesome. I'm totally blanking on what happens in the 2nd one, though. So that's like,
I
I'm gonna go
won't
back and lock in and watch the 2nd one for sure.
I won't ruin it for you. What on your list didn't you grab?
Oh, yeah, Gandalf's hat was the other one I wanted to get. Remember I told you
Okay.
that? That was 100%. I should have just got that. Um, the Mithril I got, the dwarf journal that was in Moria.
Yeah,
I thought that was
that's a
it's
good
an
one.
old looking cool book. It would have looked pretty sweet when they're I didn't necessarily care for the guy's words. Like, who cares? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got cooked. Like, you're live tweeting while you're dying,
Shut
bro. Like,
up.
what are you doing here?
Oh my
Uh,
god.
but no, cool looking book. Gimli's garb, Gimli's axe was pretty sick. His
His
helmet was just
helmet,
as cool. Yeah,
his helmet
no,
was very
like
cool.
that would have been perfectly fine. But Sauron's obviously infinitely more important and more impactful. So I went for the Sauron garb. Legolas, whatever his name is, Legless. His bow and arrow would have been obviously a choice, but honestly, not a. I was giving it a closer look. Not that
Under
it
you
wasn't
you
really
don't
cool.
it doesn't get a lot of shine in this movie. In the next movies you see it, Legolas actually has like the second coolest swords in the movie.
Okay,
Their hilts are like golden and stuff, and they're curved a little bit differently. Legolas's swords are actually sick, and he rocks two of them, which
nice.
I like.
And the light of Aerodil,
The
that,
yeah,
yeah, I think that's how you say it. That was another thing that, like I said, similar to your necklace, it got passed
mhm,
with a name, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm writing that down easy. Like it
yeah.
was like that's gonna come up somewhere. Um, yeah. What about you? Anything else?
You got Sauron stuff. Saruman's staff,
Yeah,
the other staff.
the cooler looking staff, no doubt.
I wanted that before Gandalf's, and then the Bilbo's book, There and Back Again.
Okay, that
I
was probably
wanted
a better
that.
book than the dwarf book for sure.
It looked cool, and plus it's pretty much the Hobbits, but in this.
Yeah.
And then I also had the Phial of Galadriel, the light in the vial.
Okay. Awesome.
That's yeah.
All right. All
I
right.
had
Not a
that.
bad little. Not a bad little. There's a lot. Like I said, I think I probably was once I wrote down like the bangers off like immediately.
Hmm.
I probably was a little less like we'll watch a movie sometimes. Like if we ever do like I'm thinking like Shawshank or something like we're probably gonna be like that man's shirt. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just thinking like from like this movie was huge. It was long. I wasn't gonna make 2 pages of notes here. So
Yeah.
once you kind of figure out the top 8, you're like, I think I'm gonna be good for this draft.
Yeah.
Um, but it's hard not to it's hard to put the pen down and like lock in and you might miss something later in the movie. Like then
Yeah.
you just kind of you got to pay attention to that. What's kind of what makes this fun. But anything else before we bail out of here and we come back? I
I
swear we're coming back with another one in the next calendar year.
I miss movies like this. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't think there's movies that have this level of fun and action and like grandness,
Yeah.
and then also leave you wanting more from sequels. And I kind of miss that from movies.
Yeah, and this one was
It's rare.
obviously very they came out and were like, "This is gonna be a trilogy. We're not jamming even though the movie's gonna be 3 plus hours, or
Mhm.
it's not gonna have nearly everything that you want in it," which is cool that they came in set like that. So, and your expectations were set when you came into the first movie at the movie theaters. Hopefully, you kinda understood that, like, this wasn't gonna be resolved in the first film.
Yeah.
So when it just I've always kind of, like, disliked, like, the Dune ending, like, kinda just, like, when it just leaves you but you know there's more story, but I'm never really satisfied where it leaves you for some reason.
Mhm.
I'm just like, "Damn, a fade to black," and we're, like, gonna jump back in later.
Mhm.
So it did a fine job, like, obviously, there it ended on, like, a crescendo and, like, a peaceful, like, everyone's on their own path and that you're gonna get to follow that, so they did a good job of that. I wasn't really disappointed when it faded to black, even though I hate that so much.
Yeah. Peaceful. Meanwhile, freaking Merry and Pippin are being ridden off
Yeah,
with
you know,
orcs. Yeah.
whatever. They're not gonna
Yeah.
die, right? I mean, we know they're not gonna die.
We don't know that.
Well, they said they the hobbits, we don't want them to die. They said bring them alive and basically alive and well, you know?
Yes, he wanted them to be brought alive. He didn't
Yeah,
say he wouldn't kill them.
later. So we got time to rescue them. So then that's where
Yes.
you're left. You're like, "Eh, they'll get them. They're not gonna kill 2
Oh yeah.
hobbit, maybe."
Yeah.
All right, let's get the heck out of here. We'll
Yes.
bail out and come back at your face in the near future. Don't you worry about it.
Yes.
All right, have a nice day. See you later.
Later, guys. Love you. Peace.
Love you. Bye.